Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity upper left hand corner. We've got Motive starting as the orange Protoss bottom left hand corner. We have Time is Gold, who's a random ladder player, but I'm going to call him Chickenpadfeet. I wanted to see a PVZ. And who, why not? And this is going to be on Dominator, by the way. Should be, I don't know if it'll be an interesting one or not, because part of it is high level Korean Zergs versus pro gamers. It's hard to tell. I feel like pro gamers hop on the ladder. I don't know if it's, I have a feeling it's more to do experimentation on there. And because if they're really going for any sort of like, okay, I'm going to hone my game, you find another pro gamer to train against, right? It's like you go find your top level person on your team in pro league or whatever, so that you're preparing for SSL or whatever not. But once you're on the ladder, it's more, this is experiment time. And it's kind of cute. And I think that's maybe potentially why there's so much of the barcode name hiding. It's to make sure that players are trying to play honest on, not that anybody ever plays honest on ladder. It's the Wild West. It's the Tatooine of locations to play StarCraft. Hive of scum and villainy. By the way, if you're looking to play StarCraft and you want to be decent at it, I highly recommend checking out the CPL community if you have the time to do so. They're a great location out there to help people. They do kind of a fun tournament thing. Great location to help people learn. Looks like we're going to see a 12 hatch. By the way, Time is Gold is the name here, but I looked up alt names on Seawall, which is an amazing resource to get replays, and his alt name was Chickenpadfeet. So I'm actually going to call him Chickenpadfeet rather than Time is Gold here. So we got Chickenpadfeet versus Motive as a fun one. Looks like we are going to see a gateway opener here, by the way, from Motive. He's going to go ahead and scout, kind of doing an odd scouting route out to towards the bottom right hand corner, checking that spawn to see whether there was an expansion or anything else up. Looks like we are seeing that spawning pool dropped at the sub 2 minute mark to get some Zerglings out. Initial Zealot is constructed. The drone's going to come across that probe, and that should, let's see if Motive actually commits with the probe. Maybe he wants to see the build order. In the meantime, he has built the second pylon back towards the main right this second. He knows he's got that overload, so he knows this is the base. In the meantime, Chickenpadfeet has not yet gotten eyes to see what the build order is. He is going to get eyes momentarily as the Zealot crosses this overlord, but going to go ahead and wander in. I think critically what we wanted to see was whether there was gas there or not, and also wanted to see the spawning pool timing. So Zealot marching its way across, the drones returning to home base, scattering back, overlord sidling into position, but it looks like it's just going to be 2 Zealots into Nexus in the meantime to force out some initial Zerglings. Drone actually swaying across that initial Zealot. It looks like it's going to go for, so this is going to be 3 hatchery before gas, which has been very popular for quite some time now for Zerg players. Just seems to be kind of the baseline meta. 8 Zerglings are in fact queued up. We have a probe alongside to provide some buffer damage. There's not a lot. One thing for Zealots, never mind. Motive found the exact perfect spot. Even got some damage. He's going to get the drone kill. Got the drone kill. Very nice. But a decent drone drill otherwise. I was about to say there's not a lot of space to pocket your Zealot to get the bonus surface area to deal with, and Motive having some trouble getting that Zealot into the main as far as the follow-up, because you can see there's just not a lot of space in between the Zerg. Nice cutoff there by Chickenpadfeet. So the Zealot going to get very little out of this, and looks like there's still 4 Zerglings down here. That's a big Zergling dedication to the start, but regardless, Motive, yeah, tried to get in that pocket again, but didn't get anything out of it. So the initial 2 Zealots finding nothing. 2 more Zealots have been constructed, however. Nexus just about up. We've got that Forge on the front as well. The probe scattering, trying to find, so able to find the probe out in the midst to scout, but also going to get those Zerglings out in the forward position to deal with any Zealots that are trying to sneak across the map. We have just because of the number of the Zerglings, Motive creating a bit of a blockade. They are going to go ahead, and I don't think this is going to be a shoot the gap scenario. Never mind. It's going to be a harass the gap scenario. 3 Zealots going ahead and fanning out. Somehow Motive, being Motive, has managed to get that probe on the other side. Is going to still lose that worker before he's able to check that natural expansion. We do have gas up in the main and a pretty heavy drone cycle to follow to get that economy up and rolling. Overlord going to go ahead and sneak up. That cybernetic score hit to the highest extent. The 3 Zealots going to go ahead and march out, get some Zergling kills, but also press a little bit of vision off the front. Actually, 2 Overlords pushed in. That's a little bit odd. Maybe a little bit of nerves playing in the midst of this. We got a photon cannon defensively at the natural expansion. The 8 Zerglings from the beginning still marauding around the map, actually 9 Zerglings. And it looks like that third hatchery starting to saturate. I'm expecting, no, never mind, Hydralisk Den, so this might turn into 973. I was about to say, sometimes Zerg will just go to this automatically when they've managed to deny vision. But I'm a little bit shocked to see, and it looks like some Zergling's going to be alongside, so a bit of a modification. This is going to be, we'll see if Motive is up to defending it. This is a larger map, so more distance to cover. I do feel like Hydralisks have some nice, if everything goes awry, there are some nice defense points where you can retreat. We are seeing range first rather than Hydralisk speed first, which means it's going to take a while for those Hydralisks to get in position. So this might just be Hydralisks. It might just be a transition to 5-hatch Hydra. But considering all these Zerglings, I'm expecting some form of bust. Motive making his way out, was trying to shove his way out with the Zealots. But seeing this many Zerglings and Zergling speed, I think he's going to know that this is some sort of something's up. And the Hydra's starting to march across. Already dropped that second cannon. I'm expecting additional cannons to plop down as rapidly as possible. We already have 4 Hydralisks, 5 Hydras, 6 Hydralisks out in the field. I'm wondering if this is just going to be straight all-in Hydralisks here and some additional Zerglings being produced. So yeah, this is going to be a bust attempt. Corsair moving along that corner. No additional cannons as of yet for Motive. Went Citadel of Adun in the midst of this, and you might get caught off guard by this. This is a huge, there's a lot of Zealots here, but there's a lot of Zerglings and a lot of Hydralisks, and it looks like, so checking out the main, yeah, the Hydra's starting to poke. Gonna try to take that Forge down. 2 additional cannons dropped. The Zealots not pressing the front, and now the Zerglings streaming in as those Zealots were sitting back. And 1 cannon down, second cannon, just about, yeah, is picked off. Probes drilling across, doing a pretty good disruption in a lot of these units. A lot of the Zerglings not able to get in here, so they're really not contributing to the battle right this second. But at the same time, the Zealots of Motive have been completely cleaned up. We have 4 additional emergency cannons that have yet to warp in. Certainly some probe losses happening in the midst of this. And as everything settles, it looks like the attack on the front was in fact repelled by Motive. But where are we sitting economically? It looks like we've got 27 workers. We have more Zerglings. Zerglings rather than Hydralisks being produced. The Corsair trying to damage the Overlords in the meantime to try to force something back. The Forge getting pecked away at. +1 weapons. Dangerously close to finishing. Another Zealot out is going to go ahead and march out and engage this. That actually might save +1 weapons. Certainly going to stop that Zealot on the front. More Zerglings here. So this is going to be a continued attack from Chickenpadfeet. The Corsair, after getting that initial kill, going to go ahead and draw back. Now attacking that Overlord on the front. Still working, desperately trying to get that Forge, and that Forge at 43 health, 26 health, barely collapses before +1 weapon completes. Overlord on the front is taken out. And in the meantime, a drone actually making its way out to the front. We are seeing a fold back out of this as some additional hatcheries have been dropped here on the base. We are seeing a tech delay, but 22 drones versus 35. Still, and also all of the Zerglings that were produced in the meantime, this Gateway was still able to get some additional Zealots out. And so we're seeing the Gateway flood behind this. Honestly, I don't know that enough damage was done by Chickenpadfeet. Yeah, I just love saying that. That's really what this commentary is about, is me saying that name. Double Forge dropping in the background, so I think this might be a upgrade contest as well. Motive is playing very, very light on actual troop units right here, and he's been a while without that Forge and hasn't dropped any additional cannons in the midst of this, taking some free damage on those Zealots and having to sacrifice. It looks like that Gateway, he keeps presenting these troops, but it's just not threatening enough. Dropping another pylon just in case, once this pylon's out in the front, that'll at least keep that cannon alive. The Corsairs have been very, very active in the midst of this. I think they've still managed to get 2 kills, and they are going to be able to get some scouts. So we got 3 hatcheries now at the 9 o'clock location, Evolution Chamber for that +1 weapon. So yeah, this is just going to be Hydralisks play. The Zealots still trying to thin the herd at the front and keep this pylon and gateway up as long as possible. So this is going to be a total of 5 gateways in the main once this gateway is dispatched. Not much of a contained situation otherwise. I do think Motive is in a situation with his worker count, and especially with the Corsair count, that the Corsair is able to do a lot of damage to the Overlords in the space of this. I don't even know that Dark Templar was spotted on exit. Okay, so we do have an Overlord here to the 9 o'clock. The Corsair, we have 2 Corsairs making the way out. Do we have any additional Corsairs? So it's just going to be the 2 Corsairs to peck at this. I'm wondering if an attack here at the net, or is it that going to draw the Hydralisk back? There's only a single Hydralisk here. Never mind, a huge swarm of Hydralisks now spawning there at the 9 o'clock location. But at the same time, this is, you can see Chickenpadfeet trying to get additional drone cycles in there. But last second able to get that Dark Templar going to make its way back out. We're not going to see any movement or damage towards the front for quite some time. That's going to allow these High Templar to get a lot of Psy Storm in the bank. And we have the gateway flood up to 8 gateways. But at the same time, we've had a big drone cycle for Chickenpadfeet. Usually when you're going for, and he's going to go ahead and drop that Spire in the midst of this. Usually when you're going for this play, when you're going just straight Hydralisk play, you're counting on getting that +2 weapons before, so that you can really snipe those High Templar. I'm not sure why +2 weapons is like the perfect upgrade for being able to snipe the High Templar out in the field. But right now he's going to be behind even +1 weapons compared to Motive, just because of the timing of all this and all the early investments he made. So the Hydralisks are not even going to have +1 weapons, as a whole bunch of Zealots and High Templar are making their way out in the field. And this was like a lot of drone cycling, and this is just Psystorm bait. And you're going to see there's just a lot of Psystorm that is going to be put to bear. And on top of that, not a lot. Never mind. I missed that. How did I miss that? What is wrong with me? Skip. So nice play there by Chickenpadfeet, recognizing he wasn't going to have the +1 weapons. Dropped the Spire, got Mutalisks. I didn't even see them building. Caught Motive by surprise as well. Is going to be able to sneak up and even get some damage done. Look how much it surprised me, surprised Motive as well. Holy cow, out of nowhere, getting some damage done. Zealot leg speed spill. I think this was a mistake on Motive's part. Zealot leg speed, or maybe he did intentionally to try to get more out there. But Chickenpadfeet now with the counterattack, getting a lot of damage done. We got a Dark Templar in the midst of this. Might be able to get a drone or two, but I don't think that's going to make up for all of the High Templar and the empty main. So Zealot's getting cleaned up. Yeah, and this is Chickenpadfeet's game now with that Mutalisk counter. All of a sudden, Motive down 40 supplies. Still hasn't been able to procure the 12 o'clock. What a match. And woof, my face is red on that one. Great play from Chickenpadfeet to take that. Taking down Motive. Thanks for listening.